Hello, Virgo, my fellow earth signs. Welcome to my channel. You're listening to Dawn Williams Tarot, and my name's Dawn. Thank you so much for finding your way here. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you will find that this is a community you would like to subscribe to and join. As spirit, I do have spirit guided messages that come through, and I am actually guided each time I do these readings to share information with all of you. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for supporting me. I love that you have come back and that you are adding your beautiful energy to this space. How are you doing? How was your month of October? How was your Halloween? I had a really good month. It was dicey there for about a week. I had kept just feeling like I was slammed with downloads. On the day of Halloween, I kept very low key. One of the things was that I really just wanted to go within and just work on myself and work on, my channel, work on whatever spirit really wanted me to do, right? What I did know is that they did not want me to add my energy to that day. I've been getting that for the past couple of years. So I just honored that and just went within. Some of the things that came through was, for one, we have our new moon on November the 13th, which is in Scorpio. So the new moon is when we set our intentions, right, for the month, the things that we want to create. Now be aware that the new moon in Scorpio is an energy of transmutation, death and rebirth, right? They really have no problem with, blazing their trail and just starting over again. And that's kind of what that new energy is for that new moon. It is going to affect us all differently. It can be challenging. It can have high emotions. There's a bunch of things that could happen around that time. I will speak more about that in my next video to you. The other thing that came through is the month of November. Even though I had completed my November readings for all the signs, I did that right prior to Halloween and posted those so that they would be up so you could figure out how November was going to affect you. But some clarity came through, and one of them was this month there's going to be an energy of recovery from information, recovery from truths that are coming out, recovering from, a lot of things that are happening on the planet right now. Some people will be recovering from this war situation. People have family that are over there. So, it's just it's very deep. It's very immense. It's very emotional, right? There's a lot of emotion that is being emitted. So that's one of the reasons why these high emotions are surfacing, especially when you watch the destruction that happens. We've had a lot of things happen within the past couple of months, weeks. I mean, we went through from, the Ukraine war to now there's war in the Middle East. The United States is talking about reinstituting the draft that is going to draft our young people to go fight in a war. In a country they've never probably been in, right? For what reason? So I'm not going to get into the politics of it all, but it's just being aware of the emotional mindset of people. There is another energy of reset. Some people will be going through a reset. Some people have done some tremendous spiritual work and they're graduating. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean that they necessarily are leaving the earth plane, although some of them could be. So you may be aware of those people that have decided, okay, I've had enough. Got enough of this time, and off I go, right? Because it's difficult to live here. It really is. It's not, we are electrical, emotional beings. And that's part of what our spirituality is about, is that we can actually feel all the myriad of all the things that we experience on life. Some of it is beautiful and some of it is just horrific. So there's that whole gamut. The other thing that is the thing that Spirit wanted me to share with you is there's a high need to do a ton of self-care. We give, especially us earth signs, just give and give and give and give, and we give it all away, right? Oh, you need your help. Us earth signs make the best friends because we will do anything for a friend for the most part. But the problem is then we get depleted and our energy stores get really low. That is when you are opening yourself up for immune compromises. And with all the stuff that's being thrown at us now, the best thing you can do for yourself is to take care of yourself. One other thing that Spirit was talking to me about that is going to be surfacing this month is about around trust issues. Trust issues, trusting your government, trusting authority, trusting that people really do have your back, that type of thing. There's another level of trust too that is going to be shaken this month, and that is some very deep personal beliefs. There's going to be more and more information that's coming up for us to look at that has been in the deep, dark recesses of humanity, things that we don't really want to look at, nor do we want to even admit have been happening on this planet for a long time. And what does that do? That shakes your beliefs within yourself. Like you thought things were, you thought life was like this, and really there's a lot of stuff that's like this. And so it's going to really shake your trust within the things that you know. It could even shake your trust into believing or knowing how to believe anything at this point. And what Spirit is telling me is that Spirit's got your back. If you are struggling, call on the archangels, call on your angels, call on your higher self, call on the God of your heart. The God of your heart will answer you. The God of your heart is always with you. That energy lives within you. You are God. You are a living expression of God. God never leaves you, ever. No matter the darkest place that you may find yourself in, God is always there. It's just, do you turn to God? Do you turn to that inner knowing? Do you turn to raising your vibration? The surrender part comes from one of the examples they showed me was that because of some of the stuff that's coming up about these spiritual wars that are happening right now, is that it's going to really rock some people's religious beliefs. One of the things that is an interesting aspect about religion is people have their religious beliefs and then they believe that their religion is the only way, the only avenue to God is through my religion. And if you don't believe in my religion, then you're not going to heaven or whatever your belief system is. And what they're saying is that some of that is going to be triggered this month. The solution to those triggered moments is to really go within yourself, go within your heart. Sit down, look at those things. Why is it that those things are triggering you? What is it about that is triggering you? And then the other part of it is surrendering those triggered feelings to the God of your heart. God will protect you. God will show you, demonstrate to you your truth. And how you know it's true for you is there's physical sensations that we feel as beings Things are spot on. You might get chills, right? Some people get chill factor. That's a time for us to pay attention. The other thing is your gut feeling. Your gut feeling typically never lets you down because that's an aspect of your spiritual self that is triggering the chakras that are in your gut space. So if you go with your gut and it aligns with your heart and your gut are aligned. Yes, it feels good. Yes, this feels like truth. And then you allow your mind to think about it. If you can integrate all three and get all of those working in conjunction, then typically you will be able to discern very easily for yourself what seems real, what doesn't seem real. Don't look for the answers outside of yourself. You are the authority. You are your own authority. You and the God within you. Okay. The last thing they shared with me was because there is such a heightened vibration of low energy, meaning there's a lot of fear. There's what if, there is war energy, there's conflict energy, there is a line in the sand that has been drawn. And in some instances, you're being asked to make a choice. Do you agree with this group? Do you agree with that group? Do you agree with this or that? So there's this division. So not only is there a division between ethnicities, religions, thought processes, all of that. That energy, which is very heightened right now, keeps humanity at a low level. And if you think about it, that's what the dark side wants. The dark side doesn't want us tapping into our knowing, tapping into our sovereignty. And yet, as a spirit in a body, that's exactly where our attention should be. So one of the things that Spirit said as a really lovely little exercise you can do for this month, since we're at the beginning of November, is take a piece of paper. Here's my notes. Take a piece of paper and write love, write joy, and write peace. And then anytime that you feel those feelings in the month, put a little check mark by those feelings. Anytime you feel love just flowing towards you, maybe you haven't seen someone in a long time and you run into them somewhere and it's like, I haven't seen you in so long. Big hugs, big hugs. Okay, so that would be an opportunity for you to tick your boxes. The inner peace one is the one that I feel is the most difficult for people because we're so busy, right? We're so busy living life. We're so busy, jobs and work and, cleaning your house and all of the things that are the distractors that are keeping us not necessarily centered on our highest goals of self and moving forward spiritually. So the reason why Spirit was saying to do this, now you can also set this up on your phone, whatever is easiest for you, because you have your phone with you all the time. If most people do, right? When you feel those feelings, put your little tick. And the reason why is because Spirit wants you to recognize and realize how often you allow yourself to stay in the lower vibration that makes you feel kind of crappy. And how often do you allow yourself to tap into those higher vibrational frequencies and resonance? If you can physically see, oh my gosh, I had, out of 30 days, I had 40 moments where I really felt joy, or 10 moments where I really felt deep, deep love surrounding me, or whatever it may be for you, you'll visually be able to see that. And that exercise is really just meant for you to really recognize what vibration your energy's in. So I hope that's helpful to you. You don't have to take on that mission, But I'm doing it because I'm curious. Okay, so that's all the information that I wanted to share with you about that. Your reading, I'm going to pull a card from, I got a new deck called the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I'm pulling, and I don't know these cards, so I sometimes have to read a little bit of the message so it makes more sense. But then I'm also pulling a card from the Archangel Oracle deck. I have been guided this week that I actually, for this month, this whole month, I'm working very closely with the archangels. So I'm bringing that into all of my reading space. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And we will see what Virgo needs to know. Wow. I'm going to have to look this one up. Okay, so your card is called a covenant and a sacred contract. So I don't know what the meaning of this card, I mean, I know what the meaning of this card means to me, but I want to know what the expression of this card meant to the person that created this deck. So this card represents a covenant, which is a commitment, a sacred contract for the greater good. You are being invited now by the universe to enter into a sacred contract. The covenant card may also be a call to recognize that the ancient agreement you made with spirit needs to be renewed or canceled or torn up. Is an opportunity showing up right now that is full of promise, but you are unable to sign and seal the deal and commit to it? The reason is that it needs to be elevated to a sacred covenant. A covenant must be founded on the truth, not your truth or his truth or her truth, but a greater truth that takes the destiny of all into account. The covenant is not about your agenda only. Spirit must be invited to come to the table as grantor of the good faith of all, and to ensure that the direction you are embarking in will be for the greater good. It's important that you understand what you are signing up for. Be sure to read the fine print so as not to commit to something you will soon regret or that will compromise your integrity. Do not hesitate to put all your own cards on the table so that your motives and desires are transparent and nothing is left in darkness. When shadow elements remain hidden, the covenant breaks down and becomes a contract with an unspoken dark side that is inevitably fulfilled. Inevitably fulfilled. Wow. I had a time in my life when I was in the 1990s. I was really, really, walking my path. I was having meditations in my home once a week. I would invite any group of people that wanted to come in to learn meditation or just to share spiritual energy together. And during that time in my life, I was meditating easily an hour a day and really going deep, really clearing some stuff. One of the things that happened one night was that spirit showed up. I had 7 archangels land in my living room. 7, not the typical 7, not the ones you know about. These were big, huge archangels. And I was being shown that my contract was done and that I was going to transition. And they came and they asked me, do you feel as though you want to rewrite your covenant contract and stay to help with the ascension process? And I did. I signed that contract. I believe it was 1997 that I re-signed that contract. And it was really interesting because then my whole life really changed. But that's kind of like the level of when I first saw that card, that's exactly what I thought about. It's like, oh, I re-signed my covenant with spirit that I said that I would stay to do this work. And here I am. Okay, Virgo, so now let's pull your cards. What do Virgos need to know for the week of November the 5th through the 11th? Spirit wants me to also confirm that this is a timeless energetic reading, that if you happen to come upon this reading after November the 11th, realize that it's okay, that this energy is more predominant during this week, because that's what the reading was specifically for. But at the same time, there are light codes. There is energy that will come through anyway and will be a benefit for you. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we've got for Virgo. Wow. Okay. And now I'm going to pull. So I've got your majors down. I'll explain those in a second. And now I'm going to pull cards as clarifiers. Just going to get everything out on the table so I can just talk about it all. Virgo. This looks good so far. Okay, here we go. Clarifiers. Please, Spirit. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is great. Woohoo. Okay, here we go. You ready? So your first column is your strengths for this week. And I'm just going to say you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards. Ooh, do you have the Knight of Pentacles? No. That's big. That's really big. This is a big month. There was one other group, and I can't remember who it was, that got 6 majors. And what that means is that this energy is going to carry you probably into 2024. Probably, I would say that this reading is probably going to be good for at least 6 months. But I mean, you're going to be working this energy for quite a while. Okay. It's not going to be done and over with on November the 11th. Let me just put it that way. So your opportunities starts out with the Moon card. Okay. Now, the Moon card is about mysterious paths and the unknown. It's also about the subconscious. The Moon card is about things that are hidden from you. The thing about the Moon card is that the Moon card, the moon energy itself, it could very well be that the reason why this card is coming up in your opportunities is because this reading is really supposed to go until the 11th. And I believe that weekend is the new moon weekend. So we will be tapping into that. The other thing is we just had 2 huge eclipses in the month of October that we're still working through, right? So that could very well mean that some of this energy from last month is carried over into this reading, things that are going to be surfacing for you. Okay. A lot of times when I see this card really taps into your dream spaces. This taps into the energy of not only your dreams and what those messages are for you, but this gives you an opportunity to take action on dream journaling. Because when you are in a place like last month, my dreams were off the chart. And I journaled about those dreams and what some of those things meant to me. The thing about dreams, though, is you can't get your answers from outside of yourself. If, let's say, you have a dream and it's about, I don't know, spiders, I'm using this as an example. Let's say it's about spiders and you have a deep fear of spiders, right? Every time you see a spider, it's like, eh. Well, what does that spider really represent to you? And why is it that it has such a deep-seated fear? Where did that fear come from, right? So it's kind of like the subconscious things that your higher self that is not always able to clearly communicate to you by bringing you synchronicities will work through your dream space. Now, the thing about your dream space is when you go to sleep and you leave your body at night, you have a tendency to go out and venture. You go out and travel at night when you're sleeping. Where is it that you're going? Are you consciously aware of, are you staying in the lower astral planes or are you going up to the higher astral planes? Some of you will be bringing in that higher vibrational energy through. It could be that you're going to be having dreams of being surrounded by white light and surrounded by people that you know, or you're going to be surrounded by beings that you've never met before. We are in a precipice as a planet if we continue rising up, which I do believe Mother Gaia is going. Whether we go with her or not is completely up to us. But what is coming up for us is the recognition that we have not all had our life experiences or our reincarnations here on this planet. And it could very well be that you are from somewhere else and you don't recognize or realize that, but you came to Earth during this lifetime to help with this ascension process. And that's part of your mission. So I feel as though a lot of information is coming through that space, right? This mysterious space. And no one can really access that for you. Even if I were to do a reading for you, it might not even come through, even if we were just on one-on-one, because this is information for you, okay? So keep a dream journal, write down those thoughts, analyze what those thoughts mean to you, and I think that will give you some clarity. Now, what your moon is being clarified by is the Five of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. So let's start with the five. The fives are all about changes. This card is a card of conflict, okay? But this is in your strengths card, strength section, strength position, your strengths opportunity this week. But this card right here, if you look, they're all working on something. They're just not working in unity. It's more of a competition. It's like, oh no, I'm going to finish before you kind of energy. The thing about this card, though, is this card is also a card about training. So it could very well be that you're going to be experiencing something that is going to be challenging for you because it's going to be something that you've never done before this next week. Maybe there is competition in this experience of this training. But the other thing about this card is that there's also an opportunity to tap into how can we work together in unity to create a beautiful outcome, okay? But this card can represent conflict. It can represent an opportunity for you to have some type of training that takes you further, either in your career or maybe it's one of those things. I don't know if you've worked for a company where they do these personal assessments, where you can find out what type of personality you have or what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, so that you can work on those things. That could be something like that within your organization. My companies used to do that all the time. Anything like that, anything that really is kind of a challenge for you. The other thing is this can be a conflict. This can be a thing where I really don't want to do that. But at the same time, as this is a strength, you may learn something very profound about yourself. So just be open to those possibilities. Your next card is the Page of Swords. Now, this page is full of ideas. She's young. She is really, into her studies. She wants to learn as much as she can. So this person is very young. It could very well be you are waiting for some type of news to come in. This card also for me represents communication, right? You're waiting for some type of communication to come in. Now, that could be an email, it could be a video, it could be a movie, it could be some type of communication that comes in and gives you information, ideas, right? Gives you ideas, enhances your own experience, right? So that's kind of what this energy is here. And then your last card in this column is the Queen of Wands. Now, this Queen of Wands energy is an energy of, she is the badass queen. I call her the badass queen because she's fiery. She doesn't sit still for very long. She's constantly working on something. She's very inspiring. She's very influential. She's very motivated. She's very creative, right? She's got it all going on. She's just fire. She's fire. As an earth energy, for us, we are a little bit more slow moving, but every once in a while, we need to have that fire under our butts. And I feel like she's coming in as your strength for something that you're going to encounter. Okay, so she's going to fire you up. She's going to give you that energy to plow through, right? Just allow her right in and just utilize this energy to the best of your ability. This next column has to do with what's helping or hindering you. And this column, I would say, absolutely has to do with helping. And the reason why I say that is because you have the Empress. The Empress is the divine feminine energy. She is unconditional love. Now, as an earth sign, you may very well be very in tune with the earth. You may go out, you may do grounding work. You may work with plants, right? Get your hands in the soil. You may be very good with growing your own food, growing vegetables, right? So that you can feed your family. This person is very resourceful. I feel like this is your embodiment. Now, if you are a male and you're listening to this video, we all have the masculine and feminine energies within us, right? It's just how much of that quotient do you have? How much feminine energy do you have? How much masculine energy do you have? What I have found by just looking at the statistics analysis of my videos, most of the people that listen to my videos are female. But this energy right here is rising on the planet. We are moving out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius and into the golden era. And part of that energy has been that it has been so heavy masculine energy for so long, right? For eons, right? I think each cycle, I don't know how long they take, but it's quite a while. And now we're swinging back into this beautiful earth, feminine energy. And we need to be able to balance both within ourselves, okay? So I'm going to tell you that if you are of childbearing years and you want to have a baby, now is the time. You're very fertile. And if you don't, then you know what to do to prevent yourself from having a child. But the fertility is there. This card is all about rebirth. This is a card about rebirth. This is a card about infinite love. This is a card about really connecting with nature, connecting with your inner self. This is all about abundance and creativity and passion and inspiration and utilizing all of those beautiful energies of joy and happiness at your disposal. So this is a beautiful card. Now, This card is clarified by another major arcana, which is the Chariot. The Chariot is very fast moving energy. The Chariot is you're leaving behind the things that no longer serve you. This is really stepping in onto your soul path, into your soul mission. Like we're at a place now where we can no longer ignore that aspect of our spiritual growth. We do have to take steps in order to walk our path. If we are taking the ascension cycle up, if you are taking the descending cycle down, meaning, I mean, and there's no right or wrong here. You're free to do whatever you want. But the souls that are ready to move forward, move up, move into those higher frequencies, to move past that fourth dimensional, lower vibrational frequency, this is fast moving energy. This is coming in fast. Now, what's also interesting is that you also have this Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. He is going for his dreams, right? So you've got this fast moving energy. You've got this knight, which is a clarion call for you to move forward, stop thinking, start taking action. And your last card for this column is the Star card. This says, these are your long-term plans and goals. This is following your North Star. This is stepping onto your spiritual path, knowing for a fact that you have one, that you own it, that it can be constantly changing, but as long as you stay on your path and you call on spirit to call on you, then, you know what, did I pull your card? I did not. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't pull your Archangel card, so I'm gonna do that right now. But this card right here is affirming that your long-term plans and goals are being guided, right? Are being blessed, are being championed by your higher self, by the God of your heart, right? So this is all very fast-moving energy this next week. I really feel as though if you have done a tremendous amount of inner work, that you are just going to skyrocket and take off. And this energy is going to be with you because you've got all these major arcanas. I got so excited about that covenant card that I forgot to pull your angel card. And your angel is, Archangel Yophael. And she says, clear your space, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. So here she is. You can actually call her in and have her clear your space. You can use that. You can do smudging. There's a bunch of different ways that you can clear your space. However, the clutter part does take action. The thing about having clutter is that if it's things that you haven't utilized that are no longer serving you, that, you haven't utilized them, I don't know, you can give yourself your own number of how much time, but if you haven't utilized something in a year or 2 years, give it to Goodwill, give it to somebody else, give it to somebody that's going to utilize it. Why hang on to it? Because really all it is clutter. The clearer your space, the clearer your vibration is. And that's kind of what she is saying. So if you take this to heart, call on her, Yaphiel, she's female, bring her in and help her clear out your space. Have her clear out your house. Have her clear out your car. Have her clear out your workspace, right? She can do all that for you. Beautiful card. Sorry, I missed that earlier. I got so excited about that. That's such a sacred contract. That's a big step. And I feel as though if you actually take this on and you decide that you do want to do this contract, which is with you and your higher self, it doesn't necessarily have to be with anybody, any other physical bodies. It can, if you're getting into something new, but it can be a contract between you and your higher self of walking your path and saying, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to make these changes. Please come in and bring me the things that I need in order for me to be able to walk that path in harmony and in bliss and with grace, right? I don't know. This is awesome. Okay, so your final column has to do with your opportunities. And the first card has to do with this Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands energy is the Nine of Wands typically represents the wounded warrior. So that means that this person has been just grinding it through. She's just been going, doing all this stuff. And she's tired. She's mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually tired. And she's kind of like, do I throw in the towel? And the nine is telling you, do not throw in the towel. Keep going the distance. Your reward is very close in hand because this is a nine. You'll be tapping into that 10 of completion here very, very, very soon. So this is a card of keep going, keep pushing yourself. You're going to make it. The other thing that is clarifying these cards, which I find really interesting, is you also got the Empress again. You guys, this has never, of all the years I have done tarot, I've never gotten the Empress twice in a reading, ever. This is big. You are definitely stepping into your divine feminine energy. See, the only thing that I can say is own it. Spirit wouldn't hand this to you if you weren't ready. So embrace her beautiful energy. Become the Empress. What's funny is for the past couple of months, I've been calling myself the Empress. And I'm not a Virgo, I'm a Taurus, but earth signs, right? But I've never seen this come up twice. So to me, this is a beautiful confirmation for you, okay? The next card that comes up is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of, now this can be a card of illusion. This can be a card of the dreamer, right? That we're reaching for things that we really don't truly really want in our lives. This can also be smoke and mirrors. That could be that energy may be around you. The other thing about it, though, is also being spoiled for choice, meaning there's a lot of things that have come up. But if you look in the cups, they've all got different little things in there. Some's good and some are not so good. So pick wisely, right? Make sure you're grounded before you make your choices. Make sure your gut, your heart, and then your mind are in alignment before you make your choice. Always go with the heart, right? So that's kind of what this energy reminds me of. And then you have the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups to me is your soul tribe. So you've had all these beautiful energies here. Your soul tribe are the ones that have always got your back no matter what. They will, help you bury a body in the backyard if it's needed, that kind of commitment to friendship, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be your family, although it could be people in your family, but your soul tribe are really those who are very connected with you spiritually, that you recognize that spark in each other. And what this is telling me is that you need to put together some time to spend with this family, whatever this tribe is for you. So maybe you need a night out with the girls, or maybe you need to do a spa night, or maybe you need to go do a paint night where you all paint a picture together, enjoying a glass of wine. Whatever it is, maybe it's just going to a lunch, or maybe it's going to a museum, maybe it's going to a concert, or going to Las Vegas together. I don't know, something that is celebrating your friendship. Okay, Virgo. Now I'm going to pull your 5 main themes to close out your reading. And your first card is happiness. Ooh, I love it. Second card is a teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Deep friendship. Tapping into that. A claw. Be careful. Do not take risks. Maybe that taps into that 7 of Cups. Just be mindful, right? A box. You will receive a gift. This reading has kind of been a gift because this reading is big, you guys. I can't wait to see where this takes you all. Honestly, I think it's going to be amazing, Virgo. And then you have woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. And I'm going to pull a clarifier for her. So pleasure with a close friend. So you've had a lot of friendship kind of cards in this reading. The biggest takeaway for me, other than your sacred contract and whether or not you want to make agreements with spirit of what that may mean to you, it's going to mean something different for all of you, right? This is another one of those trust and surrender energies. But clear your space. Call on her. You've got those majors. You've got 6 major arcanas. It's really big. That means you are really going to be working with big energy this month. Be aware this month is Scorpio energy. I don't know where Scorpio lands in your chart. You might want to look that up if you don't know all of the placements of your houses and all of that with astrology. If you have an interest in that, you might want to go to astrologycafe.com. You put in your details and they'll give you a free natal chart for you to look at. And this will tell you, you obviously know what your sun sign is, but this will give you your moon sign, your rising sign, your ascendant, your north and south nodes, where everything is located for you. And that gives you more information to really do a deep dive into all the little pieces and all the fragments of who you are so that you get a bigger picture. Virgo, I hope you have gotten something out of this reading. I'm sorry, it's probably been very a long reading. Spirit had a lot to say. I wish you the very best. I can't wait to see how this all works out for you. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe. Enjoy your week. And until then, take very good care of you, okay? Cheers.